Hey guys, it's GHP and welcome to the first installment of the Black Market, a new deck tech series that I'll be doing for Team Rankstar once a week, where we'll be taking a deck that Team Rankstar has built and refined a bit and presenting it to you guys. So this is the idea of the Black Market, is you could get the hottest decks without the price, because why not? So today we're going to start with Fire Time Justice tokens, and the reason for this is if you haven't read the article yet, which you should, we are going to take any promo card the first week that we have all four, and that'll be our build around for the week. So in this case, we're going to be playing with Milos. New promo, 3-mana 1/1. When you play another unit, it gets stats equal to Milos' stats. So this snowballs. If it's a 1/1, every unit you play get +1/+1. If it's a 2/2, everything gets +2/+2. If you play Xenan Obelisk, everything gets +3/+3. Because Milos would be a 2/2, so that's +2/+2. Plus the unit will still get the Obelisk buff. Which is what led me to want to play him in tokens. This is the type of card that rewards a player who wants to go wide on the board. And this allows cards like Grenadin drone. So if you play like Milos on 4 and then Grenadin drone, so you put a 1/1 and 2 2/2s in play, that's okay for a token stack. But Milos is a must answer in a token stack, which is what I like about him. I'm not sure if Justice is the way to go yet, but let's go through the rest of the notable inclusions and cards that didn't make the cut. First one's Initiative of the Sands. Being a powerhouse at getting these aggressive draws where you go like a Marin Stinger on 2, you can go undepleted power, initiate, depleted power, teacher, that happens a lot. Going initiate into merchant into something is powerful, but in tokens you don't necessarily need that something. You don't need that World Bear Behemoth or Moonstone Vanguard or whatever expensive fatty you want to play. In this case, it just lets you put more dudes in play and try to build towards your Obelisk or your Stand-Togethers. But we're going to cut it from this build, and this is so we can play our Crest, our Splash, and we're also moving away from cards like a Marin Stinger, which is what Initiative of the Sands facilitates a lot of the time. This is a more controlling build, or controlling is the wrong word, a slower build. We're not playing Rally. We're not trying to be as fast as some other list. Instead, we're playing Stand-Together for more sticking power. And speaking of sticking power, we're also getting rid of, wow, I don't know the card name. 4-mana 2/2, you get to choose a token. A 1/1 deadly, 2/2 flyer, 3/3 overwhelm. I can't believe Maris' Disciple, we did it. With Crownwatch Pressgate, this only hits Grenadin drone, but that's probably good enough. It's better into grinding matches. It draws you cards, which is always nice, which goes good with our Market Vault, the Praxis. Because you can play Pressgate, you can play Vault, and then always have the drone. And Pressgate is also better if you give it Aegis with the Stand-Together. Besides that, we're playing Vanquish over Obliterate just to be more mana efficient. The burn plan of this deck is not that great, and this is here to kill the Veras, the Titans, the things like that tokens typically has a problem with. So it's killing the same thing Obliterate does, but for cheaper. This will hurt against like Ricardo aggro, but we're already A, favorite, and B, Obliterate still costs 5 in that matchup. So it's kind of iffy. So before we jump into some games, I just want to quickly shout out Ink Gaming, where you can use one of two codes, TRS12 or GHP12, to get 12% off your order. And you can also get 5% off at acquire.com using TRS5. Just want to quickly shout out our sponsors. They've done a lot for Team Rankstar lately. And now, after I'm done selling out, let's jump into some games with Fire Time Justice tokens. Alright, let's jump into some games. This is not a keepable hand. Sounds okay. It needs something, but with double Crest and like must answer card, we have a payoff if we flood any more than we already have. Like, this is fine. We have turn 2 drone, and we're against an aggro deck, so Grenadin drone is very good against aggro decks. I'm gonna bottom that. But this hand isn't. Milos is terrible in this matchup. Heart is pretty bad because you have to survive until that point. But my opponent's draw is slow. Teacher's interesting. I think I top it because it's a playable. I'm definitely wanting to block as much as I can in this matchup. Kind of like duo here is kind of awkward. I guess Elder's Feather's awkward. Elder's Feather's not a card I think is very good in Rakano right now. I don't think it fixes any of the problems the deck has. I just want to play Teacher. Yeah, it doesn't fix the problems the deck has, is my issue with it. I'm gonna get in. I don't play around the Warhelm here, but if you're playing Feather, a lot of those decks are playing the Market Warhelm, if you're doing that. And my opponent did indeed draw a Merchant, so this could be the Warhelm. It can't be Elder's Feather, which is worth noting. I don't have to play around that. But if my opponent wants to play well, he gets played. He just gets played. But if I don't draw like Vanquish, I just instantly lose. And my opponent did draw a fast spell as well. He didn't have it last turn. Yeah. We have not drawn interaction yet, and that's a problem. So I play Milos and I pray. But I'm dead. Like, I'm very dead. My opponent, if he has power, gets played and I die. Don't get me wrong, I'm not beating this Enforcer. And my opponent drew my opponent drew a fast spell. Actually, my opponent has a Shugo standard in hand. Yeah, my opponent has Shugo standard. Can't actually win this game though, can I? No. Because I play a power, next turn, my best draw is like nothing flies. I need a way to kill this. So I guess no, I have an out. I go Heart of the Wall, hit Vanquish. My opponent has a fast spot, and I shoot. It's Shugo standard because my opponent last turn went. I'm very dead, by the way. My opponent last turn. He had a fast spell the turn before. He played the Torch, but I knew he drew that earlier. So yeah, he has to have played Enforcer. Or it had to be Enforcer. Not Enforcer, it has to be a standard, which in that case my opponent missed lethal. So if he just plays Shugo Tactic here, my opponent missed lethal. If he has Crownwatch Tactic, then he's alive, or then it makes sense. And I didn't hit it, so we're dead. I had to hit Vanquish on the Valkyrie Enforcer, but that was just a tough draw. The flying seals my fate though. The fact that he hit his war cards were on a flyer, our draw was really clunky and not for that matchup. And no interaction. You need a torch in that match. Alright, we're 0-1 and now we're up against Grimfan. This end is so our mana is too clunky, basically. Or our power, sorry. Slow. Very slow. We've had a lot of these slow hands. We have not... Like, it's not like we're playing a lot of top end. We're playing 4 Vanquish, 4 Hearts, and the rest of the deck is the aggressive sides of the deck. We're just not drawing these hands yet. And I haven't done the games I've played off camera with this deck either, which is interesting. I will just start with Beatdown. I want to have a game in this set of, like, this set where we actually get to do, okay. Is there a hurler in hand? A hurler, huh? I want to have a game where we get to, like, ride the Milos. But we really haven't, and same with all the practice. Those are the type of games I want to play with this deck. If I draw Aurelia Merchant on, if I draw Aurelia Merchant, I'm probably going to get Vault of the Praxis, because I'm against some thing. I don't entirely know. Some amount of colors control. But he's playing Hurler. I think it is just... Okay. So it's 5-faction Nikto with probably a bunch of smugglers and lots of Echo cards. So like he puts the Hurler back. Now an Eddie Smuggler he draws. Yeah, he gets Nikto. Yeah, that's what I thought. So we can just torch an end step. But we know my opponent didn't get like a sweeper either, which is nice. And I'll just press gang. We have one drone left. Hopefully we don't draw it, because if my press gang dies, I want to get it. But I have Milos into drone now, which is a nice recovery if this is like Harsh Roll or Hailstorm. Which are both funny cards if he casts them. Okay, another smug. I suspect... Okay, he's probably playing a ton of smugglers. So I don't know what's in his market. Aurelian is nice. I'm going to attack for 3. See if he blocks. That might be a side he doesn't have a rule. I think I want to get Vault. Now the question is, do I get rid of Bear Arms or not Bear Arms, Milos, Heart, or Vanquish? I definitely want Drone because I'm getting Vault. I could get Stand, but I don't think that's the game I'm trying to play. I think I'm going to get rid of Milos here. My opponent could actually have a Sight here. That would be a really interesting inclusion. I just have a Market Ridges to him. I will just block. Probably a sweeper here. Yeah, this is a harsh roll deck, you know, like. So we have a press gang in our deck, which will always be a good draw. Hopefully I draw a power off the Destiny so I can go Vault plus Drone. Damn, I'm good at this game. Every now and then. You get draw a card. For those of you who don't know, I'm a huge fan of all the praxis in token decks. I really like it. It's a way that, like, for example, when Tempora was super popular, that would be my thing, is I wanted Vault. And now I can't play Vaults, whatever. I have an Obelisk. My opponent gets back Nikto, gets a new card. And we're just gonna push some damage. And we'll play the second drone. Is that like I don't have follow-up? So he has a Nikto plus 2 Nikto cards. So he probably went first merchant put Hurler in, get Nikto. Second merchant put Nikto in. Or get Nikto. Yeah, put Nikto in. And then this time he went merchant, get Nikto out. I don't know what he has though. I'll just keep attacking. I will just play press gang here most likely. Well, my opponent didn't deal with this board. He didn't mark it. Yeah, I'm just gonna stay on the offense. My opponent could have a counter spell. Like he has random Nikto cards, so I can play around, you know, as much or as little as I want. Draw a relic from your deck. What relic is good here? You have a market end of the story. Cool. I didn't play around that. I do like Hard the Vault. I drew a playable, so I'll play it. Stay on the board. So 1 power off, making my units +2/+2. I think we still have 3 torches, 3 hearts for burn. Let me check. That's correct. If we ever get to go to the market, we get stand together. So, like, we basically win the game if we draw one of our 3 remaining merchants. I'll play this power, buff our dudes, and, like, let's get information. I don't want Milos here. I'm honestly looking for, like, Heart the Vault. Maybe another display? Yeah. So, we know there's a heart on the bottom of my deck. If we get 54 cards deep, we get to warp a Heart the Vault for 2 damage. And he's going to kill off our Obelisk. Okay. I'm going to play Press Gang. It doesn't get anything. But, which sucks, you know, but that happens. We drew double Grenadin drone. And then we went Press Gang plus get the other one. But we actually naturally drew 2. So if this is if he plays the hurler, he dies. And yeah, he's dead. And just in case, we have the torch. So we are 1-1 so far. I think this deck is powerful. I like the games like this where we get to play Vault. That's where I want to be when I play tokens. It might not be the correct way to build the deck, but it's what I want to do. Alright, let's jump into another game. Now we have 2 power. If I knew the top card of our deck would be a Seed of Impulse, I would keep this hand so fast. But because if I don't have a turn 2 untapped time, this hand is just, like, mediocre, so I'm gonna redraw. That is okay. It's interesting, do I want to lead on holding up Torch or not? Matchup dependent things here. I suspect him against Temporal. Hard on top. So, because I want this card, I'm just gonna play Seat. He's gonna learn that I have Torch, but if it's Temporal, I don't care that much that he knows that. And if it's like this, yeah, if it's like Hoover stuff, then I am very pleased with everything that just happened. I'll get my Justice, and we're good on Influence for Heart. If Trailmaker lives, we're good on Power for Heart. Hojin is a problem, by the way, for this deck. Is this a Warhound? Did you just draw double Hojin plus? Alright. Torch it. You can Finest Hour. Levitate. Okay, so that's great because we get to kill the Hojin. Like, he does get to, you know, draw a card, gain some or not gain life. And I'm okay with the second heart on top of my deck, which is why I'm just gonna lie. I don't really know much about this deck. When I've played against it so far, it kind of did nothing every time. But that doesn't tell me how good the deck actually is. I don't know what he got for his Echo, but if this is a turn 4 Treacher Downpour, I'm very, very sad. Am I a sad boy? I'm a sad boy. I'm a very sad boy. Yeah, now we're stuck with double Hard the Vault. But yeah, Raptor Sweeper is good. That is great. If I'm gonna draw something other than Power, and I wasn't like I would have probably topped Power. I probably would have topped most things. So they have a Zhou, but they might have binned it. They also have a Sigil, so they might just have Zhou, and I'm not gonna beat Zhou. That's one of the things about this deck. Tokens doesn't beat Zhou very easily. Like, you need the nuts, basically. And we had a good start, but we couldn't keep the board going. Like, the torches were nice, but if he goes Fire Sigil Zhou, so the question is, did he bin it? Let's all hope that they got rid of Zhou. Alright, that's if he didn't have Zhou before. Now he gets Zhou back plus treasure. And this is one of the huge differences here is I haven't drawn a merchant, and my opponent has drawn 2. And that means I probably lose. So, like, as sad as that sounds, if I had gotten, like, Stand or Vault or Purify, any of these cards could have been good. But because I didn't get to draw a merchant this game, yet my opponent drew 2, I am just put so far behind. And that's one of the things that 8 merchant decks or 4 merchant decks, like, it doesn't matter. It's just the fact that it's so powerful. And that's just... that's a horrible draw. There's a merchant. Now, the problem is this is just so late. Like, I'm going to top it, but I'm not casting it next turn. And our opponent just picked up probably another Zhou. We knew about that, unless he binned it to the market. Yeah, I just can't win through, like, not when our draw gets disrupted like this, and our opponent ramps into Zhou. Like, I could heart and try to maybe race at some point, but I have my doubts. One interesting thing here will be if my opponent just plays a second Zhou. Do I want to say get Purify? I don't know. Because the problem is I'm dying then. We know they got Zhou. Like their Echo is Zhou because they played 3 treasures and they drew one on like turn 2. Then they played the treasure at some point. Then they got back Zhou from the market. Yeah. Or, he had treasures from the Zhou, so do we not have confirmation? No, we don't. Alright, how could I win this game? I could heart into Power for this, and then Obelisk, yeah. Stand. That's actually terrible. Because I didn't develop. So yeah, my opponent does potentially, like, he has more treasures. But have we given him a good opportunity to snowball? That's an important question. Okay, you have Market Razan. That seems weird in that deck, but... Alright, what to do with the deck? We have a serious Joe problem in these colors. If you don't draw your Vanquish, and we didn't draw Vanquish and our Merchant was way too late. If we could have stand together when they had played the attack with Joe, so he burns his whole turn of the attack and killing our units, and we go stand, attack for 10, play hard the ball, that would have been a great turn. But we couldn't. We didn't have the merchants that our opponent did. So not only did they get to Joe, but they also got to bring it in now, get extra cards, and get a sweeper. Alright, let's jump into another game. We have pretty good hand, like, it's not, you know, it's not super explosive, but we have drone with interaction plus, like, our top end if we ever need it, and our Obelisk. So yeah, this is a fine hand. I will go, the question is, do I want to go turn 1 drone, or set up to potentially play a teacher? And I think I'd rather just drone. There's plenty of games here where I just go Crest Torch next turn. One card I have missed in this deck is, ooh, interesting. Is, Tempo Scribe. Sorry about that. That's a card that, I really like. I'm not doing anything next turn, which is kind of awkward. I'm just taking this one. There's no way I'm torching. I'll torch something better. Although the infiltrate does matter, I don't think it matters that much. Spitling is fine, and nothing. I'm the beatdown here, so I'm willing to make the attacks. This Spitling will be a 3/3, and then if he plays the, gosh, what is the card called? 4-mana 3/3, bring back a wisp. Bring back a wisp, tribute, bring back 2. They get +1/+1. If he brings this back, he'd be making a 4/4 flyer. And it probably just beats us by itself at this point. There's no way I ever torch this, because if I'd enable tribute, he'd bring back a 4/4 deadly and a 4/4 flyer. So, okay. That's still bad, but I get to kill it. Like, I can torch it. It becomes a 5/5. So if my opponent has more recursion, it's really bad. That's why Weary Spitling is so good in certain situations. I'm gonna hold back. I want to trade with the 3/1. So we don't know if this this infiltrate mattered. He hasn't played a Radiant yet that it affected. What is this type? It's a cultist, which means I can, like, he only brings back 1 dude either way, so I may as well just block. If this had been a wisp, so he'd get 2 wisps back, then I would not be okay with the block. Because I'm very scared of a couple of cards in the deck. So this is one of these really awkward turns where, because I have Crest, like, what do? It tells me I can hard the vault next turn, so... Huh, I'm okay with either line. I am just gonna attack and, like, get some information. I'll just play drone. Like, I don't need the Obelisk yet. So he could attack with this, and then if he brings back an 8/8, it'll be kinda hard to beat. Killing off press gang's fine. I'm gonna draw 2 cards next turn, essentially, because I get to heart. Does he have recursion? Dark Return, get a 5/5, a 7/7 contribute killer for 1. Yeah, when the worst stuff pops off, it pops off. Opponent didn't want to do anything with it. So that's awkward because I want to play Heart, but he just eat it. So I'm actually supposed to play Obelisk and be sad. Like, very, very sad. Heart on top. Cool. I don't complain about those. I think I'm just gonna chump. Like, this is so much damage. If my opponent has more recursion, I'm in so much trouble. Because his void is so big. He has some sort of fast move. It could be Banish, it could be Annihilate. It could be like Devour. Alright, that's nothing. So let's just Heart and kill this drummer. Let's stop him from building the biggest board ever. Because if he just has a recursion effect, like that's what we're racing against. We're racing against our opponent drawing recursion. I'm going to play the power first. And the reason for it is I want to represent that this could be stand together or rally. Sure. So with only one card left in hand, or I guess two cards now, I'm gonna let this happen. Then at the end of his turn, I'm gonna kill this. I'm not willing to trigger the tribute on a recursion effect. I can't let him go. Get back a 9/9 flyer, get back or a 10/10 flyer, get back a 10/10 deadly killer. That's not okay, you know? Like, I have to do something on this board. So I'm planning to torch this end of turn, play a Heart, and hopefully get something going. And he did draw the Soulbringer. Yeah. We did get paid off for our play. I'm just not sure it matters anymore. I need a Merchant to draw Purify. But I feel like I've said a lot so far. I need to draw a Merchant. Like, just noting that, leaving that tidbit out there. I've said that a lot. So, Purify is good. Vanquish just kills this, and that's good. It's like all that comes to mind that like I care about right now. Where's a Merchant? I'll just attack for 6. Like I can easily chump and such, so. Wow. So he is playing Devour. We mentioned this card earlier to be on our radar. Really was hoping it wasn't Devour here, but that's all I can do. Let's purify this. Problem is, it's still a huge unit. It's still a 10/10. If he draws double removal, I die. So if he plays like Dark Return, he gets a killer dude. That's 1 unit of mine down. I'd rather have power than butts on this board, so. Yeah, we have to find a way to kill this. Him playing this great for me. Like, it hit Vanquish, it puts me closer to like a Heart in the Vault or an assembly line. We knew those were coming, which is great. I get a Grenadin drone. Milos, ooh. That was a really hot set of draws, kids. That was like the best thing ever. And now he does not have board priority anymore. I do. Of course, a recursion spell makes this a problem, but he no longer has the keyword flying. We have a lot of chump blockers that can really help us get through this board. What an insane sequence of cards there. Just that we need it. But sometimes, like, when you're playing warp cards like Heart in the Vault, you have the press game that gets you, like, the multiple blockers, things like that. These draws are very possible. Imagine I was only drawing 2 cards, and I hit, like, Vanquish plus press game. Or hit press game, then drew Vanquish, so it was only hitting 1 card. That's still really good. Alright, this is still a good turn for my opponent. He's actually more scared of Milos than he is of Heart of the Vault. Unless he has a second killer effect, which doesn't appear to me that he does. Kind of interesting. And we can't really do anything here. My attacks suck because of these creepers. So I'm just gonna sit back. And hopefully I rip, like, some Obelisk. Obviously I want my 3rd or 4th Hard the Vault. That's a given. I would love to go Hard the Vault, kill a deadly unit. So here's the honest question. Can I beat the 2nd Soulbringer bringing back a 10-10 and a Void Drummer / one of these things? Not really. That's the truth. Not really. I am going to go for the double block. I realize this can be ugly, but I have to play as if my opponent is drawing like power after power after power. Or if I'm going to rip some Hard the Vaults, that's the game I need to play. So 2nd Soulbringer is like lights out here. Also 2nd or 3rd Shadowlands Tyrant's probably a bit too good. But that wasn't too scary, so we're still in this. My Merchant can get something, but nothing's like great. Drummaker. Can I afford to sit for a turn and go Merchant and get Vault, play Trailmaker next turn? Is that a real line I get to take? Draw another card? That's not actually that good. So do I want Vault or Obelisk? Like, Vault makes it so I have so many redraws that I think I'm going to get Vault and play it. Obelisk is fine. I can still block the 3-1, which is why I'm okay with not having it be a 1-5. That Annihilate is kind of problematic though. And 2nd Annihilate, so I go to 1. So I need like an assembly line. That was a great draw because it triggers our Vault. It gives us a blocker for everything, and now I play a Teacher. I'm gonna play Teacher to play around another Annihilate. Or another removal spell, basically. And now, the best cards I could draw are like, Crownwatch Press Gang is really good, because I get to get 3 bodies and draw a card. Assembly Line's good, Heart of the Vault's obviously good, because I get to draw again. And it would be worked in. I'm dead to any recursion because he gets to bring back a Nightfall effect. That's pretty good. Do I attempt to get in with this? I think no. I think I go next turn Stand Together. Or Obelisk, whichever. That's so bad for me for so many reasons. So I'm actually dead if my opponent decides not to block here. Unless I go Seek, take the top card off my deck. So top card of my deck is this Fire Sigil, so I'm going to Hard the Vault. Alright, didn't get there. We flooded out real bad this game though. But like, this was an explosive draw, Wisp did its thing. And I think this has to be a really tough matchup. Another deck you don't see a lot though is Wisp, but it's a deck I want to play a bit. Alright, Ridiculous Hat. This will probably be our last game of this set. I think we're 1-3. Deck hasn't performed too well. We haven't had many explosive draws. Like, this is not explosive at all. But it's still a hand I'm forced to keep. But we really haven't had, like, 2-drop into 3-drop. I don't think we've done that in any of these games yet. Do I want Stand? Probably. And if my opponent's on an aggressive deck, I'm probably going to lose with this hand anyways. But it makes, like, everything else pretty good. Maybe Chains, Temporal, the Mirror. Any of those decks are, like, on my radar. So I can take that. That gives me power number 5. I think I need to. I think we're playing a Heart of the Vault based mid-range game. Not really where I want to be. I like Heart of the Vault to be the top end, not the first things I do. And yeah, it's Chains. This matchup comes down to Talut. Talut beats the attackers, but Chains is very weak. So it's kind of dependent on like what their draw lines up to be. Obviously, if I can like stand together, it's good. Milos, okay. Let's press gang and get a drone. Opponent plays like. There's a lot of draws here that I don't beat, and that's just reality. Yep. So now we're in this interesting spot of like, how do we order things? How do we deal with things? And now that we drew that, very clear to me that I just play both of these. So what do I want him to do here? I actually kind of want him to just play Chains with no power. That'd be kind of good. And then he makes a 6-8, so I Vanquish that. He has a 2-2. I attack with everything, stand together. Tolut is not really beatable, but this is. The fact that this has an end turn trigger is a downside here. Yeah, he definitely wants to hit Milos over the press gag. But I think I can beat this. Attack with everything. Am I going to stand no matter what? I think so. So I get him for 16 here. This was a great turn. As you mentioned, the card Martyr's Chains is actually not particularly good against us. Ambassador that says shoot 2 things. One thing to know in case you don't know, you can't target 2 of the same thing here. The Aegis would have gained both. And I think my opponent just did that. That was a hot one. So I actually have lethal. Yeah. Yeah, this Chains should be a good matchup for us. Unless they just told us. But here we get in for 9. And that's the game. So I believe we went 2 and 3 today. The deck didn't perform great. We didn't do a good job of doing the explosive hands. Milos did have a few times to shine though. Milos, I think, is a powerful card, especially with when the meta is in a slower state. I'm definitely happy to be playing that card. I also like Stand Together in the slower meta, so it's kind of dependent on the meta game. I want to say thanks to everyone for watching. Next week I don't know what I'm gonna work on, but this week I kind of forced myself to work on Milos, just to see what I could come up with, and this was the best thing I've come up with so far. A lot of interesting archetypes that I would like to try out here, and hopefully we can get some decks that people are wanting to, take into the rank games, maybe in some tournaments, and something that's different. I'm not going to sit here and play FJS, Cobra Chain, stuff like that. That doesn't interest me. It's not an interesting video. But I want to say thanks to everyone for tuning in, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one.